Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? We are back. We've got the full crew here for the first time in a little while. It's been a week or two at least before we had the full team here. Our fearless leader Jan is back with us once again. We've got Andrew the Chartman, aka Simple Jack. Gentlemen, it has been another kind of quiet week on the specifically crypto front. I mean, there's plenty of different news stories here, but the headlines have all been about equities and the metals. Gold and silver going absolutely nuts in the last week or so here. How are we doing on the charts? What are we looking like? Are you more bearish or bullish at the moment?
I mean, like overall, or just in crypto?
I guess let's say Bitcoin in general.
Okay, so like with Bitcoin, I think we're just stuck in a range. Like I am leaning to the bull side because one, we technically have this weekly candle, right? Weekly double bottom in place. So until we lose these lows, it's not invalidated, right? So we have still some room for this thing to come down if we really wanted to. But so far, we've just been kind of chilling. We tagged this reload zone here, and we're just kind of playing around in this little range now. Top of range, bottom of range against this bottom of that candle body. So really just letting the market consolidate. It's boring, not much to really do. Overall, crypto total market cap, we are floating right against like these previous lows, kind of like that previous bottom structure. And there's not really much going on. I mean, I think alts are trying to rally here right now. There's a lot of alts that have like come back down to like the bottom of ranges. But it's like every time we get a bit of a momentum going, it just kind of gets like swapped right away. So I'm a little bit hesitant on like, a lot of these alts and stuff and whatnot. But, Bitcoin's just been stuck in this little range. It's been building this base since like November. Until we lose these lows, this double bottom originally that was put in still is active. I've been kind of buying these dips every time it dips a little bit and just kind of like cushioning this position a bit. And then same thing with ETH, like, ETH is still hanging on there, getting closer and closer to that low. Once we lose these lows, I think we're pretty cooked and we probably have to go much lower. Probably have to look into that 75 to 65K range. And then for ETH, probably around that 2K range is what I'm looking at. And that's obviously not what people want to hear and see, but, technically we are in a bit of a downtrend. Currently, we're in a sideways market trying to see if we can break out. If we break out, then we put a pause in the downtrend. Otherwise, if we break lower, then this is just nothing more than just another higher low. And then down we go. And, if we are thinking more of this, like, 4-year cycle, the top did technically come in pretty much a couple months ago. And so we are supposed to just kind of play it out. Usually takes about 18 months for a bear market to kind of last. And, there might be some pumps in between here and there. But for the most part, price action is pretty mellow. So, yeah, I mean, there's really not much to do here. I mean, we still have to wait to see any kind of like bullish divergences. We still have room before we're oversold. And so I think we're just at this point, we got to wait. And hopefully we can get some more double bottoms printed. And then off we go.
What's your stop loss if it goes down?
The bottom of the lows, essentially.
Just 80K there.
Yeah.
What I mean, we've been talking for a while that a lot on the macro for bullish for Bitcoin and crypto is our metals just going to steal all the pump that we thought were going to be for Bitcoin for 2026. Is that all just going to be metals and equities instead of and crypto and Bitcoin is going to get left behind?
I think it's already been like that for months now. Like, if you just look at any like metals chart, and it's like, like let's go on a weekly chart, and it's like, okay, so like literally since the summer of last year, it's just kind of when crypto kind of died too. Like it's just nothing. We didn't see anything, and this is what you're facing now.
Well, it's interesting because the the economic situations with the fiat systems that everyone thought would be producing Bitcoin pumps, they're all the same. The logic is there. That people just chose a different asset class to put the money in. People buying gold and silver for roughly the same reasons they would buy Bitcoin or Ethereum. Not 100% the same, but a lot of those reasons align well. They don't trust the dollar, they want to hedge against inflation, yada yada, so on and so forth. But instead of going into Bitcoin, we're seeing silver, gold, copper, and other metals pop off there. So I guess maybe right prediction, wrong asset.
Yeah, it's like they always compare Bitcoin as digital gold. Well, this time around, people are like, nah, we're gonna go with the physical gold.
We want rocks, baby.
Yeah. So it seems like a lot of the retail people are jumping in on this, right? They're chasing these high tops, pushing price even further. If only that retail would come to crypto, that'd be nice. But I don't blame them. Even I'm like thinking of like just not trading crypto anymore. Having a lot more funds in the metals and equity market right now. And
so what's the like top here for silver and gold and everything else? Like for example,
there's no top.
Yeah, but the interesting fact with silver, like once we hit $125, solar, like producing solar, is going to be unprofitable. It's like at the moment it's 40% of a solar panel. So if it goes to 125, it's more than 60 or 65%.
I mean, solar is largely not viable without government subsidies anyways, but
yeah, but it's becoming more and more popular. And I'm just thinking like these are affecting normal manufacturing prices, right? If silver goes up, everything related to silver will also produce higher cost. And like in the long term, that would be the inflation will go up, no?
Well, chaos
because
levels,
everything costs more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm thinking we got about 130 is probably that big level there on that extension. Kind of chaos level theory.
I mean, damn, talk about price discovery.
So, we hit that 4.669 and then we got that nice pause, right? That's the fog and bomb level. And then chaos level is kind of like the ultimate target. And this is generally like kind of like, the compression and then the release. And so we're measuring how far can this release go. And normally that 4.669 is kind of where you meet your kind of like big targets. And then ultimately 8.77 is like where you want to look for. So 130, 125 is when people start getting broke, or at least like the solar panels get fucked. But it could go up to like 130, I think. If we look at gold, we see where gold is at.
Well, silver's used in a ton of stuff out. I mean, not just solar panels. Pretty much any or your cell phone. It's widely used in manufacturing for a number of different things.
Yeah, same with gold. I mean, everything is also just like, if we look at US dollar, like US dollar is taking a beating. It's like the whole like US government, or at least like Trump, it's like his whole game is like to like devalue the currency for some reason. Like if we look over here, like, those are some pretty nasty sell-offs in the US dollar. And so I think a lot of the hedging for this is like either you can look at like euro, yen, gold, these metals. And so I think that's what happened, is that people are just kind of like hedging against the US dollar versus, buying something like Bitcoin, which hasn't really performed too well. It's too volatile. But it's funny that I say it's too volatile because I look at like the metals market and it's just like, it looks pretty volatile as well. Just ripping higher and higher. So, I think we are getting closer and closer to some like upside objectives where we can start this thinking of like, okay, maybe this is a run quite a bit. Maybe it's time for us to start taking some profits, let the market consolidate, and then you can kind of, see if this is like really the top or not, right? But we won't know until we start seeing those double tops, bearish divergences, oversold conditions, yada yada. So still think this is a bit of a window for higher prices here. So
it's pretty wild seeing things like gold and silver trading kind of like meme coins. They've just been like absolute crazy volatility.
It basically tells that something is gonna break, right?
Yeah. I feel like it's already breaking. Like the economy is clearly not doing so well. But it's good for us in the sense that if you're in like equities or you're in these gold plays and silver, fucking man, make hay while the sun's shining. You know, that's why we're in these risk markets anyways, to speculate on risk. And if you get paid, you get paid. So, I think we had that scare last week on that tariff war. Everything was breaking down. We had the double tops come in. The sky was falling. It's like, oh, okay, trends is over maybe. And then this has been a pretty strong recovery since then. Like, we're already coming right back to those previous highs now. Wouldn't be surprised if we do actually take out those highs. And then we just kind of continue higher and we just keep chugging along because the Fugazi, it just keeps going. They're not going to let it die. And then, if they keep devaluing the dollar and the US dollar keeps getting beat, they keep printing money, then these assets should just keep continuing higher. And
one thing we know is they're definitely going to keep printing money.
They are already printing money. Like when you look at the M2 money supply, it's fucking just.
But so why is that coming up?
Look at this. They're printing again. The money supply is higher. It broke out of these highs. And it's like they're fucking printing like motherfuckers right now. So this is why your assets are going up, metals are going up, everything's getting more expensive, your dollar is worthless. And the more rate cuts we get, the more issue this is going to cause. And that $20 coffee is like very realistic. So we stockpile stocks and metals and crypto and hope for the best that we can beat the inflation and
the era of hard assets.
No. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm having a lot more fun and just like playing the stock market these days. Even last year, it was a lot more fun compared to like alt markets where things were just, just slowly grinding lower and lower and lower. It's like every time we create a base and we try to break out, it's just something just stomps it. And it's like they don't want this market to rally. And you can keep trying to hit these setups, but eventually you're going to burn through your cash, especially if you're not like managing your risk properly. So I'm kind of just sick of it and not really interested. I mean, you can go out there and try to hunt these names. Like there's a lot of like random ones that are just kind of popping off, like, what is this dead project doing? Pretty much
River. Come on, River. River has been pumping nicely.
Okay. 1 out of like 100,000 coins. And like River is poised to get beat up and it's going to do the same shit what every other coin does. It's going to fall 99%, just like all of these coins. When they first came out, it was hot and then it was not. And just wait, Justin Sun is probably going to dump all his bags on you. He always does. Arthur Hayes is notorious for dumping bags on you. He's going to do it. So I wouldn't want to chase it myself, but we can look at River. I mean, pretty good run. Anybody who's taking profit there, they're pretty smart. I would be like, I'll probably start taking profits there. But if you really like this project and you really think this is a banger, then obviously you can come down and hunt these reload zones, right? And if you want to get real cheeky, you can hunt this 88.6 level, because that's kind of where that previous lows are of this structure breakout. Also that last previous all-time high there. So those are kind of areas that I would be looking for. I wouldn't want to buy it up here. This is pretty much asking to get hurt if you come chase up here. But I mean, for the most part, like I said, it's just, you just go through and, you can try to find W's against the bottom ranges and try to play those. I'm kind of hands off. I'm mostly just Bitcoin, ETH, and equities these days. Yeah, I mean, if you go around, actually, I was looking at the Kosh network yesterday. I think it broke out today already. Yeah. Yeah, so I was looking at that little double bottom that I was trying to put in, and then pop, popped off. So, like, if you find names like this where it has the breakout, it's got the pullback into the reload zone, and then it forms a new structure, those can probably be decent trades, possibly. But again, it's just like it's too volatile for me at the moment. Not really what I'm interested in.
Some of it might be interesting for the traders watching. I mean, maybe this is just me being an absolute noob, but how are you filtering to find tokens that have these setups? I mean, because like as you mentioned, there's hundreds, thousands of tokens out there. Are these all that you just have on your side list that you're checking through them, or is there some sort of alert that pops off for you when a token hits certain metrics that are, lining up with your double bottom strategy?
Just watch lists. I have like hundreds of different watch lists that I go through. I spend like my mornings, my afternoons, and my evenings just kind of going through each one. And then you can kind of just get a general sense of like how the market's doing after looking at a couple of these. And then we do have like an internal scanner that kind of scans for double bottoms that we use sometimes as well. But a lot of it's just manually, just searching and whatnot. So. And then you kind of like, you can like pick ones that you like or the ones you're eyeing, put it in a separate list, put some alerts there as well. So that also works too.
Yeah. Sounds like something you need to make a Claude bot for.
Yeah. This is Kita. Kita looked okay. Actually, one of my trade members in my group actually posted this one. I was like, oh, okay. I could see them trying to create a base down here. We had the original double bottom breakout, had another little cute double bottom here. And now it's trying to put in an even bigger double bottom, right? So, it's only a matter of time before these things starts popping off, I guess. But, I mean, if Bitcoin ETH starts failing here, then I would imagine these things all will just kind of get flushed again. So, until we start getting that big breakout on Bitcoin ETH, it's going to be a tough sell for me on these alts. And, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. That's all I got for charts today. If you guys have any picks you want to go through, feel free to share some names. But otherwise, yeah. That looks good.
So you see, I mean, no hope left for 2026 for the crypto markets. I think it's all going to be metals and equities till whenever this run ends and then back into the bear market.
I'm sure they'll be rotating back and forth. I mean, it's hard to say right now. It's hard to predict the future, especially in these markets. I just think right now, obviously, the trend is equities and metals. You can see it in the price action. You can see it in the charts. Bitcoin ETH, until we break out of this range to the upside, I think we're kind of struggling. And then it's just a game of roulette. If you pick the right name out of like the 100,000 coins that are out there, you get lucky with one of the market makers to pump it for you. Great. But most of the time, like, I don't know, man. Even like projects that are supposed to be like really good and whatnot, not even performing very well. So it's kind of tough.
That sounds like it's gone back and forth a couple times in the last few weeks, but it sounds like stimulus checks for the U.S. Are back on the table for this spring sometime. But if where are those going to go? If we see gold and silver, I'd imagine. I wonder what the Google search trends are for right now. I'd imagine as much publicity and PR as gold and silver are getting. That's the new meme coin. Our metal are going to be metals. People are going to be looking for deeper down the chain into copper and every other. Which metal is going to pump next, rather than coming into crypto. So maybe even it'd be interesting to see where the trend is and how that times with stimulus checks if they happen, as to where that money is going to go, or if it's all just going to go straight into poly market.
Yeah,
I do agree. Like I think metals, equities, they just keep rallying. There's no liquidity at the moment for normies coming into crypto. But I mean, at some point it has to change, right? At least that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, no, agreed. The people, like my dad messaged me the other day. He's like, he couldn't fathom how that gold is at 5K and silver's breaking through 100. He just like, this isn't this just makes no sense. Like, what's going on? Like, pretty absurd, terrifying stuff. So, yeah, I can't imagine it just continues. I mean, how sick would it be if gold hits 10K before Ethereum?
I mean, it hit 5K already, so.
Even that, yeah. Who thought gold was going to hit and maintain above 5K before ETH gets there? That's wild, insane. All right. Well, let me get some stories up here for us. I guess probably, where's no, there it is. Yeah, this is just talking about kind of the volatility you would not expect in assets like silver and gold that are not supposed to be this volatile. Nearly $2 trillion worth of market cap swings on silver in just 14 hours from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. ET Eastern time. You can see up 500 billion, lost almost $1 trillion, and then pumped 500 billion, half $1 trillion again. And this is all within a 14-hour span for one of the largest asset classes in the world. Traditionally supposed to be very, non-volatile. That's pretty insane.
There was statistics that it was like getting a lightning strike on you when walking somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. on a sunny day.
Yeah.
Completely wild. Yeah, to see silver doing that. I mean, this looks like this is like a meme coin chart here. This isn't this isn't a the second largest metals class chart. And earlier when we look at the charts of just that hockey stick, straight up there, again, that doesn't look like gold or silver is supposed to look. So, and traditionally, you see those type of things happening with assets like gold and silver. It's not a good sign of, stable, steadily growing markets and economies. It's turmoil, whether that be, war, economic, et cetera. And right now we've got a little bit of all of that going on. So interesting times. As we read another article on the maybe not so coincidental timing of all of these companies IPOing as well, with OpenAI, X with Grok, all the big AI companies, Anthropic, et cetera, all trying to do their IPOs around the same time. And is that a coincidence? Are they trying to get out while the getting is good yet here in 2026? Get that IPO valuation, get a big payday, and then batten down the hatches for whatever is coming next.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, strike while the iron's hot. When the sun's shining, you got to make hay. So I think a lot of these companies realize that the market's extremely hot. This is probably going to not last too long, and it's a good time to try to push things through.
Yeah, pretty wild. But
how much can we go up still?
I don't know. I hope another 10x.
Yeah, originally I'd saved this post from the Kobayashi letter, but then within just a few hours, they put out another one showing, I know we just said silver absolutely tanked, but now 2 hours later, right back up. So, gold doing something pretty similar there. Gold down, I don't remember the exact numbers, but yeah, massive hit, peaked up to 5,100 there, and then dropped back down to under 5K. Which shouldn't sound that much until you look at the actual market cap of what was moved there. We're talking like $1 trillion. That's an unfathomable amount of money.
Yeah, I mean, that would devastate crypto if we lost 1.7 trillion. Oh my God, we would not recover. That's
really like half the market cap. 40% of the whole market cap of right?
Yeah.
Yeah, silver did a over 50% of the entire crypto market cap swing in 14 hours.
So this is what I mean. Like, it's more fun to play in these bigger markets. Crypto's just like, it's like for the kids now.
We're so small still. We're so small.
So tiny.
The degens are able to play in the metals. You never thought you'd see that.
Well, everything's going on chain now. So, I mean, maybe that kind of converts some crypto users, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, big stuff happening this week, not just for crypto, but has going to have an impact on the overall economy. We have tomorrow, President Trump, the very important economic speech. I think the last time between now and the last time when he gave, a speech addressing a lot of this stuff, there's been a whole hell of a lot of stuff that's gone on. All the tariff stuff, the Greenland stuff, stuff with China going on, stuff with Russia going on. I mean, there's just been a whole hell of a lot of the Venezuela stuff. Yeah, there's been a lot going on in the world scene. It's gonna be interesting to see what he comes out and says. I think that could have major forward-looking impact on all of the markets: gold, silver, equities, commodities, Bitcoin. They're everything. The volatility and everything is on the table here with this upcoming speech. Actually, looks like it is at. Is it maybe 2 there? I'm not sure. I see two time slots. I see 2 a.m. and an 8:30 p.m. So I'm not 100% sure on if there is 2 talks or if that's a misprint there. But anyways, within the next 24 hours, we're gonna have some, I'm sure, major newsworthy events coming out of the White House there. And then the big one that everybody's been looking forward to for quite a while now, since December 10th, is the January rate cut. Almost 2 months since the last one. Polymarket says it's a foregone conclusion. It's now 99+%, no cut. I don't know if there's anything that Trump could say in his speech that would change that. All the numbers are out. It's just a matter of, Powell making it official at this point. So unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to lose my first bid, my first ever bid on Polymarket, but the way she goes, I guess.
No.
Yeah, Polymarket here. Oh, yeah. Brutal. 99% no change. I mean, yeah. What is it? Insane. What's $20? $10,000. Yeah. Still at that. Even about $3,000 for a $20 bet on 25 basis point increase or decrease there. But so yeah, rate cut I think is a foregone conclusion. When is the next rate cut after this? Do we know?
In 2 months, in March or something.
Yeah, March should be. Yeah,
should be March, I think. Yeah, but let's see if there's any other interesting bets right now. Government shutdown, Fed chair. This has changed a ton. Now we got Rick Reeder, whoever that is. That's a newer name that's been added there.
No idea. I haven't been following that at all.
Yeah, the strike. This was a hot one before. Strikes on Iran. That seems to have cooled off, thankfully. JP gonna make it to May or not? Yeah, not too many on economics and crypto in the top trending charts here. But yeah, IPOs continue to be the name of the game.
I like the first post or comment. Lol.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Seems like this is the name of the game now for not just companies in just everybody, crypto. All the AI companies are trying to IPO. It seems like the new cash grab, the venture model is especially within crypto, venture model is busted.
Well, there's no more room for ICOs.
Yeah,
So
there's no
IPOs.
no ICOs, no IDOs. Everybody's got an IPO. We have a bit unique perspective on this, being at the forefront of M&A stuff. A lot of our buyers right now are looking to scale up their business via acquisitions, using that as a growth strategy, so they can hit the numbers where they're able to do an IPO either late this year or early next year. Be interested to see how, if we do see a market correction and things turn around late this year, early next year, are companies still, how are their plans going to change around IPOs? There's a lot of very, very large companies, very smart people working at that. I'm sure this is something they're considering. But as of now, the IPO trend is full steam ahead still from what we're seeing.
I do agree. Like almost every big company and legacy company that we talk to, they're thinking about IPOing.
Yep. Yeah, and not just thinking about it, but actively going out and spending money to move in that direction via acquisitions, whether they're doing acqui-hires, acquiring new tech, geo arbitrage, new revenue streams, all about scaling up and rolling up those numbers to get to a point where they can either have an opportunity to be acquired by an even larger company or go out and do an IPO themselves. And so, I mean, I think these guys are definitely serious. I don't. Most of the teams we're talking to, they're not simply speculating. They already have active plans in motion to make it happen.
Yeah, I think it's the only way of getting from normies money at the moment.
For the moment, anyways.
Yeah.
Do you think we see any sort of emergence of the DAT model?
Good question.
I was hot for a second.
I mean, they're all dead. No? They're all trading below a knob.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is not helping things anywhere across the board. The ETF inflows not looking great at the moment. When's the last time we had a big day? A couple good days here. I mean, if you remember back into this summer, 130 million inflow was a slow day. We were seeing 4, 5, 600 million a day.
Well, it's a good time to take profits. I mean,
I think the main thing now with both ETH and Bitcoin is the quantum computers. Ethereum came out with the strategy now, I think on Monday, or was it Friday, that, hey, like they're going to be going against. Yeah, there we go. And this is the thing with Bitcoin, because it's so decentralized. It's so hard to update. And obviously, like, is it Charlie Shrem, the guy who was going against the pharmacy industry? What's his name?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
It's something Shrek or Shrem or
Martin Shrike?
No, Shrek or something. Like the slimy guy who was basically putting the pharmacy.
Martin Shirelli?
Yeah, could be.
No, what?
Yeah, but he's working on a quantum computer vertical, and basically his first thing that he's trying to do is to get into Satoshi's wallet. So the big question now with the Bitcoin community is that, hey, are we going to upgrade to do a fork and basically have some kind of security around quantum computers, or are we going to let it be?
Well, I think they have to essentially upgrade if they want the asset to continue. If they don't, then yeah, the quantum computing does pose a serious risk. I don't know what like there's this quantum security is top. I think a lot of talk about quantum proofing stuff. Banks are working on it. Everybody is working on it. That's kind of always been my thoughts is, well, okay, if quantum computing does come in and cracks the SHA-256, it's not just Bitcoin that's at risk. Like to every single dollar, ruble, rupee,
power lines, food, nuclear.
Yeah, well, remember that like banks are centralized, right? They can work on a solution much easier than a decentralized ecosystem.
Right.
But yeah, like I think from Ethereum side, this is a good move. I think quantum computing is like 3 to 5 years away. Some say it's nearer, but who knows?
Yeah, I see it seems like one of the more highly debated topics recently. You have a lot of people kind of screaming the sky is falling. I don't know if they're doing that just because they're trying to get attention and get boost numbers on their articles, if it's more of an attention piece than anything else, or if how much merit there is to it, because quite a few people on both sides. I mean, I think it's an inevitable thing. Just is it 3 years out, or are we 30 years out, like some people say? But definitely something that good to see Ethereum doing something about it. The Bitcoin community needs to get that shit figured out as well.
I'm sure they will, because the minute one person gets hacked, they're gonna be like, "Oh fuck, okay, like we gotta patch this shit." Like,
Yeah.
there's no way they're just gonna leave it. And if they do, then maybe that's the death of Bitcoin and the spawn of something new. You know, just buy
Zcash.
gold.
Just
Buy gold.
That would be a wild, wild day.
Yeah.
And not just for Bitcoin. I imagine that a lot of things would be going offline that day.
Yeah.
Like you said, our electrical grid, nuclear codes,
Yeah.
everything has the potential to be disrupted with
9/11 every day, everywhere.
Don't talk like that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, this is a big part of it here. This is one of the kind of the counter arguments to that is right now the thing holding back AI, the thing holding back quantum computing the most is really a capacity issue, whether that is the chip production, hardware production, or power production. And with all the materials, things like silver, material components like silver skyrocketing, making it more and more difficult, need more and more money to build the infrastructure, to meet the demands and the needs of these companies. So whether or not the bottleneck is technological for someone to start, whether on the offensive or defensive side for quantum computing, AI, et cetera, at the end of the day, largest U.S. grid operators authorized to divert power to data centers. This has been a huge talked about issue. Building new power plants, nuclear power plants, private nuclear power plants specifically for data centers and AI operations. How are they going to meet the power supply for these supercomputers, these quantum computers, these AI data processing centers to keep up with the demand? I mean, look at how much RAM has spiked, the cost of RAM. Speaking of which, I need to get my computer in and get it fixed.
Yeah, if you want to buy a computer, you should buy it now.
Yeah.
Oh God, I do need to buy it. I need to build a PC right now. And I was like, damn it. I just did this like 3 months ago. Fuck. It's okay. Maybe we need to look into creating a data center, Jan.
Yeah.
Seems like that's where the market's at now.
No, I agree. Somewhere in Asia.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it in your basement, Andrew.
I don't even have a basement, bro.
We just won't tell your apartment complex. We'll just start setting stuff up. Well, I think what is clear is these new technologies clearly have efficiencies over the traditional models. CZ making a very poignant statement at Davos last week. Binance was able to handle $7 billion in withdrawals in a single day, $14 billion that week with no issue. Don't know of any banks that can handle that volume. A very clear cut and important factor to consider when looking at all this. Who is going to be the big winner in terms of what specific cryptocurrency? Who knows? But the underlying technology is here to stay. Blockchain has unarguable advantages over the traditional systems, be that finance, be that the internet, et cetera, that aren't going to go away. Whether or not that ends up being, JP Morgan and, governments like the US that are running them themselves, or decentralized organizations, Bitcoin, or I don't know if you want to consider Ethereum a decentralized organization or not, but companies in that vein of technology. But that technology is here to stay. It ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, that's crazy. Is it because they just have, it's easier to just withdraw without having to like some banks, they require to tell you why. Why are you taking out $10,000?
I think there's a multitude of different capital, and if the fiat system is just inefficient in general. Whether it's withdrawal limits, or if they need to call up, they have overnight lending rates. If they need to call up the other banks and get their money back because someone wants to pull out all their money, there's a whole lot of it's not one party. There's probably, there's dozens of different layers and parties that are going to be involved with a transaction like that to get the money in the right place. And then, on top of that, like you mentioned there, government regulatory issues of, clearing that it's okay for someone to take their own money out of the bank, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That are just all going to get in the way of all that happening. So those don't exist at least not to the same extent in Web3 as they do. I think we looked at 2 weeks ago, kind of the why is hyper liquids model and why are these taking over the traditional finance trading volumes. Well, it's because again, when you're executing a trade on Schwab or whatever, there's 10 people involved in making that happen. When you're doing it on Hyperliquid, there's like two parties involved. There's just much more efficient flow of that capital to be moved around. I think it's the exact same thing for banks here.
Agreed.
Making the money move faster, just what we need, so we can have more leverage quicker.
It's good for the hackers.
Yeah. Let's see. One, I guess, funny. I don't know if you're going to call it funny or not. Interesting. This fine gentleman right here. If you haven't heard of this story yet, son of a CEO at a U.S. Marshals crypto custody firm allegedly steals millions in Bitcoin from the U.S. government. Zach XPT. Once again, on the sleuth on the case here, but apparently, long story short, over the last decade or so, the U.S. government has been confiscating crypto for various reasons, some legitimate, some illegitimate. But regardless of their reasoning behind it, as you can imagine, the U.S. government not the brightest when it comes to some of these kind of things. Don't really have a clue of what they're doing and how they're custodying it. So there's a whole bunch of different entities and businesses and people involved, whether that's government organizations all trying to fight over who does what with the money. And then the custody, apparently there's like 10 different people helping custody this solutions. It's a shit show, to put it succinctly, to the point where the son of one of the dudes that's supposed to be managing and custodying some of these funds has just been turning it into his own personal playground. His wallet's now linked to over $90 million in suspected thefts, including funds tracked to U.S. government wallet seizures. 40 million of that 90 million, almost half of it, being tracked to U.S. Government seizures. Apparently, the kid getting caught in a what did they call that? A band for band argument on Telegram. Basically, retards trying to be cool. Look how much money I got. Now look how much money I got. And like, how can you prove it? And this kid decides to show that, he can prove that he's got access to these wallets. That's very easy for people like Zach XPT to just come in and be like, you're obviously a criminal. His money are all we can. Anyways, this kid's probably going to go to jail. Because
his father's a U.S. Marshal. He'll be okay.
But like, how did he get access to that? Like, if it's custodial, right? There must be like, I don't know. I would assume that there's like 3 different signers, first of all, or even more.
His dad signed it. I mean, take the heat. You're a kid. You'll be out in no time.
You're underage. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, it's probably some insider baseball going on here, not to mention just look, the U.S. government doesn't have a fucking clue what they're doing when it comes to crypto now. Imagine what they were doing 5-10 years ago, how little understanding, and in some cases, probably didn't care that much about it. They're like, it's Bitcoin. It's, it's really not that much. It's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a decimal of the money that they're dealing with. It wasn't a big deal. They're like, whatever, some fucking random custody guy take care of it. Sure, get this off my desk. I got more important things to deal with. Well, now that what was a tiny bit of money now is not as tiny of amount of money today, but probably a lot of oversight that was overlooked in terms of custodying this properly, who has access to funds, how it was custodied, which of course has led to things like someone's obvious teenage goon of a son being able to go in there and access $40 million worth crypto that was supposedly in custody for the U.S. government. So going to be an interesting one to see how this unfolds, especially after this kid doubles down after he gets caught by Zach XBT. If there's one person in the world you probably don't want catching you, it's him. In the conversations as he's getting caught and like being exposed by Zach XBT, basically telling him, hey, you're going to go like, I'm turning you into the government for fraud. He's like lols and like sends money to one of Zach's wallets as a joke. Like I don't care. Like, dude, just digging. Digging your hole deeper. Zach responded by saying, yeah, I'm just going to send this money to a government seizure wallet. Like he's obviously not going to keep it. Yeah, this kid's fucked. So definitely something we'll be following up on, seeing what's going to happen with this young chap here as he's caught at least with, potentially $40 to $90 million in fraud. So maybe this will be the new modern day equivalent of catch me if you can. We'll maybe 5 years from now, he'll be working for the U.S. government, helping catch other people doing what he did. I doubt it. He seems kind of like a tool. But
it's a tough one.
Yeah.
But he'll probably get a little slap on the wrist. 5 years probably or some shit.
Oh, time will tell. We will see. But that's my final feel good story for the day that I had here.
Yeah, we're in interesting times. Can't say anything else.
Yeah. More patience, guys. More patience.
Yes. Trade your setups. Don't risk all your assets in one bag. And follow your trading plan.
I guess that's it.
I think so.
That's it. Yeah. That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. As always, we'll be having this recapped on YouTube. It'll also have some great shorts to pull out of this. If you have anything you want us to cover, story-wise, chart-wise, etc., leave a comment, message us on Twitter. That's the best place to get a hold of us. And we'll be back on Thursday. I think, well, let's see. What time is the okay, so Thursday we won't have the FOMC meeting just yet. We'll be hours away. We'll be a little early for that. We're all out in Asia. But so Tuesday next week, we'll follow up on the rate cut or lack thereof. But Thursday we'll be able to cover what Trump talked about in his speech, and see if we have some more updates on some of these IPOs and whether or not old sunglasses is gonna keep yourself out of jail. All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll catch you guys on Thursday.
Ciao.
Catch you later.